Okay, we're now recording, and I'm Victoria Compton from the San Juan County Economic Development Council. And today we have for our business chat and chew, Erin Wygant from the Visitors Bureau, the San Juan Islands Visitors Bureau, who's going to come teach us some awesome things about marketing. So without any further ado, I'm going to hand it over to you, Erin.
Great. Hi, everybody. I'm going to start sharing my screen with you all right now. So give me one moment as we share this PowerPoint presentation. And I would love to make this as interactive as possible because what will be most beneficial for you is whatever questions you want to bring up. So feel free to.
Fantastic.
There's a hand raising option if you want to do that, or just wave at me in the screen because I want to be able to answer your questions and make this as effective for you as possible. But again, my name is Erin. I work for the San Juan Islands Visitors Bureau. I manage our Facebook and Instagram accounts. We also have a Twitter that's managed by our stewardship and communications team. But today we're going to focus mainly on Facebook and Instagram and how that fits into your online marketing strategies. So let's begin. So wanted to start with a quick overview of digital marketing and how social media fits into that. Digital marketing is so much more than just advertising and selling. It's about identifying the wants and needs of a target market and then coming up with creative solutions to satisfy those needs and those customers. Digital marketing includes social media, your website, how you show up in different search engines, the blogs that you write, the online ads that you create, the videos you produce, and so much more is all under the umbrella of digital marketing. So I wanted to start with this question because it's one of the questions that I get the most, and it's what do I post? And so I want to keep this in the front of our mind as we go through all the other platforms, thinking about what kind of content should I be posting. And for me, it boils down to the 4 Ps: product, people, process, and place. So product, share what you offer, whether it's beautiful rooms that you're in, the delicious wine that you make, the killer jam, whatever your product is, obviously that's something you're going to want to share. People, you're going to want to tell the story of the passionate people behind the product. Maybe that's you, your employees, your coworkers, who is bringing this experience, this product to life. Tell the story of the people. The third thing, process, share the work that goes into your product. Is it milking the cow? Is it organizing the wedding? Is it creating the jam? What is the process? What's the behind the scenes that goes into the work that you do? And then finally, place. We are so lucky to live in the beautiful San Juan Islands. Let's let them be part of the marketing, because anything that comes from the islands is already interesting because it's made or done or experienced on an island. So let that be part of your marketing. A quick snapshot as why we want to invest in social media and why we want to play this game. Facebook, it's no surprise, is king, is the overarching medium that most people use. You can see that between users ages 18 to 34, Instagram is slightly more popular. So that's why we're focusing on those 2 channels today. Twitter and Pinterest and all of the others follow suit, but we're going to focus on Facebook and Instagram. This is the hierarchy triangle that I've created because there are so many. So again, Facebook is paramount, so we're going to start with Facebook. Then I would spend time on Instagram, and YouTube are the next 2 channels that I would spend money, time, energy on. And then below that, we've got Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Snapchat, TikTok, Tumblr, Spotify. There are so many other social channels that you can be involved in. But for our purposes, and I think what's most effective in terms for island businesses marketing themselves, it'll be Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And those 3, thankfully, share a lot in common. YouTube is obviously specific video content. Instagram is more visual, video and photo, and Facebook kind of encompasses all of those. So a lot of the content you create can be shared between the 3 different channels. We're going to start with Facebook. Facebook has about 2 billion active users, but that is growing. And the goal of Facebook is to increase and foster engagement. The overarching theme of all social media is to create a community. That's why we're there. That's why this is going to be most impactful for you. The most fun for you is if you work to create a community online. So for Facebook, we want to increase and foster engagement. That means we need to entertain. This will be innovative photos and videos, sharing user-generated content that our friends and followers send to us, as well as boosting our posts, which means putting some money behind what we're creating. And in that, we want to make sure that we're tracking our results and adapting to what those results tell us. So first, just to be entertaining, and remember, we're going to keep those 4 P's in the back of our mind. So we're going to highlight the people, the product, the process, and the place. So here we've got a video from Kesha that we shared in coordination with our friends at Columbia Sportswear. We've also got some haunted ghost story content that we created. That's from our blog. And then we've also shared Roche Harbor's beautiful aerial view of the resort. So this is just some entertaining content to start fostering that community. We want people to like what they see from us so that they'll like it, they'll comment on it, they'll want to follow us and see more. So once we've got our entertaining posts that comment on the 4 Ps, we also want to pick some posts that we want to promote. We want to boost them. And so here on the left, you can see we boosted this post about the best fall hikes in the San Juan Islands. We were finding that people were really coming here to enjoy the outdoors, and so we wanted to give that content to them. On the right, you can see that we created an audience. You can make your audiences as specific or as general as you want. You can make your audience based on how old they are, where they live, what other Facebook pages they like, what they're interested in. On Facebook, you can say, I'm interested in hiking, I'm interested in arts and crafts. And then on the boosted Facebook side, on the business manager side, I can choose to target those people with my ads. Obviously, the more filters you use, the more narrow your audience will be, but that might be just the audience you're looking for. So I encourage you to play around in that business manager boosted Facebook post area and figure out what audience works best for you. That's part of the tracking and adapting, which is right here. We want to make sure that what you're putting your money behind is actually doing what we need it to do. So on the left, you can see a breakdown of posts, their reach, who you targeted with them, what kind of engagement they got. Did you get a follow off of that post? Did you get a like? Did you get a click? Did they dive deeper into your website? And so you can see kind of how an overview of how they performed on the left. And then on the right, we've got our whole page, our whole business account overview, how many likes we got this week or this month, what kind of actions were taken on the page. I encourage you to spend some time playing around in your business manager because there's a lot of really great information in there. Facebook has done a wonderful job of breaking that down for you and giving you the tools to tweak your content and cater your campaigns to be the most successful based on what your followers are doing. So that'll be very important as you move forward with Facebook. Instagram is very similar. It's all about creating community, but Instagram is more style-based. They want to hear your voice. They want a cohesive and consistent look around your brand. Instagram is, if Facebook was important to engage, Instagram is even more so. Instagram will prioritize your content, your photos and videos higher in the feed if they see that you are an active participant in your online community. So if Instagram sees that you are tagging different accounts, mentioning your followers and fellow businesses, if you're responding to comments, if you're leaving comments, if you're using different and varied and interesting hashtags, Instagram will reward you by being so engaged and involved by putting your content higher in people's feeds. So here are some examples. This is the Lopez Island Chamber of Commerce Instagram page, and you can tell that they've really created a beautiful style here that captures the beauty of Lopez Island, the slow moments, the natural beauty of it all. You can kind of see this style that they've created. That's important for Instagram for that cohesive look. This sort of style relates to those 4 Ps that we were talking about before. Here you can see that there are 2 different products highlighted, San Juan Island Sea Salt, Pelindaba Lavender. We've also got our people highlighted too. Sharing the story of the people behind the product is really important and helpful when you're looking for things to post on Instagram. So these are just some examples of styles you can utilize. Then we always go back to engagement. On the left, you can see we've got Brown Bear Baking from Orcas Island is doing a great job of engaging with people that have commented on their photo. This was a photo of a really delicious looking croissant. And so you can see someone said, yum, save some for us. We come up Sunday. Can't wait for Orcas Island Brown Bear Recharge. Brown Bear said, looking forward to seeing you soon. Very simple, takes 2 seconds, but lets people know that they're talking to someone. They're talking to a real person and a real brand that cares. And then on the right, you can see that we've done some interaction. We've commented on things, left some hearts, It can be as simple as an emoji, just something to get your name out there and show that you're an active participant in your online community. Engagement can also be fostered by you through the comments and the captions that you post. So maybe start with a question. See on the right, we said, what's your favorite island view? We're trying to drum up some conversation. Again, Brown Bear Baking, are you ready for President's Day weekend? Just trying to get people to engage with your content is a great way to break the ice. Here Ursa Minor is engaging. You can see they just added a little heart or a little smiley face. A quick way to, again, show that you're involved. More examples of Ursa Minor and us getting involved with each other. And engagement looks like a thumbs up, a comment, or a share. I think sharing is something that we can utilize more as an island community. It means that we're supporting what other great work our friends and family are doing. So oftentimes you'll see the Visitors Bureau sharing something from the national parks, or you'll see us sharing something from Pelindaba Lavender because, oh my gosh, have you seen this great new product? It's a great way to support fellow businesses as well as elevate your own brand by showing that connection. More fun content ideas behind the scenes. People love feeling like they're behind the scenes and getting a sneak peek at what you're doing. So you see a photographer behind the scenes. You can see how wedding photography is created, or Girl Meets Dirt is creating this really delicious little ice cream cone. Some behind the scenes content will get your audience kind of laughing along on your side. As well as stories. So Instagram stories are what you'll notice in the top, at the top of your feed, there's these little circles at the top with different people's profile pictures in them. And now those are Instagram stories. They disappear within 24 hours. So don't feel like you have to stress out about having the perfect content that'll last forever because your Instagram stories are gone in 24 hours. It's a fun way to do a live look at, you know, what you see, what's new on the farm, what's cooking in the kitchen right now. It's a great way to have up-to-date real-time interaction with your followers. These are some examples from the Eden Wild on Lopez Island, from Girl Meets Dirt over on Orcas. There's usually fun fonts and stickers, and it's a more relaxed way to share your stories and your voice. Tagging is a really important way to show engagement and to get your content out in front of new eyeballs. That's an ever-growing, an ever-constant goal that we have, is to get our content out in front of new people. And tagging is a great way to do that. So this is a picture of hiking on San Juan Island, and I opted to show you all of the tags that are on the back end of it. And you can see that we tagged a bunch of different accounts that might like to see this hiking content. Hiking is amazing, Pacific Northwest Compass, Love, Hike, Explore, all of these different accounts that we thought, hey, you guys might want to see this picture. By tagging them in this picture, it also means that this picture ends up on their profile in their tagged section of their profile page. So people who are already on the, for example, PNW Compass page, and they go to their tagged pictures, they'll see this page and think, oh my gosh, where is this? I must hike this trail. And then they found my account simply by tagging this fellow account. And here's a great example as to why we want to tag relevant accounts. We tagged the Cascade Hiker podcast in this photo, and you can see on the right-hand side, they commented on our photo, which was great engagement. And then they later reached out to us via direct message and asked to collaborate on a podcast. So it was a lot of really great interaction that came out of simply tagging this account. Hashtags are huge on Instagram and Twitter, not as much on Facebook, though they do carry over to Facebook. But on Instagram, hashtags are used, I kind of describe it like a bucket. You want to get your photo into as many different relevant buckets as possible. And hashtags are something that people follow. So for example, on the bottom, you'll see hashtag Visit San Juans. That's the Visitors Bureau hashtag. So we use that hashtag in all of our photos. That way, all of our photos exist in the bucket of Visit San Juans. We also use the hashtag San Juan Islands. So all of our photos are in that bucket as well. So let's say someone is planning a trip to the San Juans or wants to know more about the San Juan Islands. And so they go on Instagram to see some inspirational content. If I was going to plan a trip to the San Juans and I'm looking for inspirational content, I'm probably just going to type in hashtag San Juan Islands and see what pops up. So the more photos that can use these relevant hashtags that people will be searching for, the better chance you have of getting your content in front of new eyes and then having them follow you back or being interested in your product or experience. I get a lot of questions about being creative with hashtags, and this is an example of a time when we don't want to be super creative and out there with a hashtag. The whole point of hashtags is to find things that people will already be searching for. So I know people are going to search for the San Juan Islands. So that's a great hashtag to use. But if I were to use a hashtag that was really specific that only I could come up with, no one's going to be able to find that hashtag, and therefore they won't be able to find my photo. So hashtags are a really great way to get your content into the different relevant buckets that you want people to find it in. We use hashtags to create campaigns. So this is the Visitors Bureau's current campaign. It's called San Juan Islands Time, where we are encouraging our members, our local businesses, our friends, and our visitors to share what living on San Juan Islands time means to them. Right now, we are all social distancing and staying home, but we're trying to encourage people to bring some island time into their day-to-day life. And so we're using the hashtag San Juan Islands Time to encourage people to post photos or videos about living on San Juan Islands Time and create this little online community around San Juan Islands Time. So here is an example of our San Juan Islands Time hashtag page. You can find this on Instagram. And these are all the posts that have used that hashtag. So we'll watch this grow over time as our campaign continues to grow. And you can kind of track this online community that's using San Juan Islands Time. So that's a fun way to get your campaign up and going and use a hashtag to do so. Frequency is a big question, and I know it can be so overwhelming with all of these different platforms. Today, we've really just touched on Facebook and Instagram, but there are so many other platforms to feel like we have to juggle. And the question always is, how much time should I spend on this? How often should I be doing social media campaigns and posts and messaging? And honestly, it's what is best for you. Consistency is very important on these platforms. So whatever you can make consistent and whatever feels like a manageable schedule for you is what is going to work best for you and your brand and your channels. So this is just an example to do a blog a week, 1 Facebook post a day, 7 posts a week, the same for Instagram, Twitter, maybe 1 to 2 tweets a week, and use Pinterest to support your blog. So whenever that blog is up, also post it to Pinterest. And the thing about all of these different accounts and profiles is that your content should be used 5 different times. Now, that picture that you have with that really sweet caption, post that on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. Make sure you're using your content that you've worked so hard to create in as many different ways as possible. If you have a newsletter, stick it in your newsletter. If you've got the blog, build out a blog post around it. So whatever is going to be most consistent for you, stick with that schedule. And there's a couple ways to do that. This is one of my favorite scheduling tools. It has saved me so much time and stress. It's called Hootsuite, Hootsuite, Hootsuite. And it's free for the most basic version, which is what I use. And it lets you schedule up to 30 different posts at a time. So here you can see that I've mapped out my posts for the week. It helps me see what they're all going to look like back to back to back. And it helps me not have to think about it on a day-to-day basis of, oh my gosh, I have to stay consistent. What am I going to post today? By scheduling them all out in advance, that takes that stress off of me so that I can spend more time engaging with my community, which is what is most important anyway. So taking that pressure off by using Hootsuite is what I use for Instagram. And then in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see Facebook scheduling tools, which is their internal scheduling system. Facebook, Instagram rewards you for using their own tools that they've come up with. So using the internal Facebook scheduling tool is great to schedule out a bunch of posts, and then you don't have to worry about them. You don't have to worry about coming up with new content every day. Just take 30 minutes, schedule out a bunch of different posts, and then spend the rest of your time engaging, liking, responding to different content. I've come up with a couple different checklists, and I'm happy to share these checklists. I've got a daily one, a weekly one, and a monthly one. If that feels way too overwhelming, come up with your own. Whatever sort of checklist works best for you that you can tick off as you go throughout your day, your week, your month, that'll keep you feeling creative, inspired, and checking all the different platforms and boxes that you want to. I'm a big list maker, so it's been helpful for me. So we've just kind of gone through quite a bit of quick content here, and just some reminders about scheduling content, which is what we just talked about, using Hootsuite or other programming tools, internal scheduling tools, doing your hashtag homework, finding those hashtags that are inspiring and that relate to your photos. A lot of times I will look at photos that I really like, see what hashtags they use, and just copy those onto my own photos. It's okay to steal hashtags. In fact, that's sort of encouraged because we want to make sure that we're getting our photos in the right places. Figure out what's trending, do a little bit of research, or if you have a couple social media influencers that you like, feel free to follow them and see what hashtags and accounts they're following and using. Investing in social media is becoming more and more important. Facebook and Instagram are encouraging a pay-to-play model, whereas on Facebook, you'll receive anywhere from 0.1 to 0.5% engagement of your overall followers. Instagram, you will receive about 4% engagement. But overall, the more money you put behind your posts, the more people will be able to see them. And remember, you can make your audience as specific or as general as you want, but that'll give you some really great information as to who is engaging with your content. Also on social media, you can shop and sell with Instagram stories, and of course, be sure to track your progress in all of those. And finally, creating your community. Social media is all about creating an online community, feeling like you've got this little bubble to chat with, to share with, to communicate your stories and hear what stories people have of your destination, of your place, of your experience. And so part of that is being visible in your community and engaging, and then following the 80-20 rule, which means that 80% of your time should be spent engaging with other people, supporting other people, commenting on things, liking things, sharing things, being outwardly, being proactive in supporting other people 80% of the time. The other 20% of the time is spent creating your own content and sharing your own story. So that's a great rule for figuring out how to divide up your time. That's what I have so far. Please let me know if you would like to connect with other questions outside of this. Again, my name is Erin. I work with the San Juan Islands Visitors Bureau. You can reach me at marketing@visitsanjuans.com. And I've also put my cell phone number on there right now because I'm working remotely, just like so many of you, and would be happy to connect. That's what I have for you all now. I'm happy to take any questions or do whatever Victoria would like next.
Thanks, Erin. That was awesome. That was a really amazing and boiled down interview of a whole lot, or session of a whole lot of information. So thanks.
Sure.
That was fantastic. And I'm sure that there's questions. Chris wanted to know if you would share your presentation, but I'm guessing that maybe you won't, because I know that that's part of your bread and butter, but I'll let you decide that.
Yeah, no, I would be happy to share that. Yeah. I mean, the Visitors Bureau, we want to be a resource for as many local businesses, especially during this time. So
okay, fantastic.
I'll figure out, it's a little big right now to just email, so I'll figure out how I can condense it and then get that out to anyone who wants it.
If it's in PowerPoint or something, if you just save it as a low-res PDF, then we can get it out to people. That would be amazing.
Great. Yep, I can absolutely do that.
Thanks. Does anybody have any questions for Erin, the guru of social media marketing?
I see something from Shanda, and yes, I will absolutely send. Are you talking about the checklist? Because I can send that over. I'm just writing down your email. Yes, awesome. Okay. Are there any other questions that I can help with, or in the future, if anyone has suggestions on if you want to learn more about Twitter or Pinterest, or TripAdvisor has its own whole new social media platform, happy to share on that too.
Chris Reed just had a question, and then I've got one too, actually. Chris wants to know what you would recommend for local customers. So it's based on visitors. So local, Chris, I don't know if you can talk, but I'm guessing that you mean like contractors and non-tourism related businesses?
Well, businesses that depend upon a local, residents for their income.
Yeah. I think focusing on a local audience speaks to that target feature, especially on Facebook. even without boosting a Facebook post, without putting any money behind that Facebook post, you can still have a little say over the target audience that it reaches. So when you're about to post something on Facebook, take a look at those icons at the bottom, and there should be a little like pin bubble option that gives you some say over who is targeted, and then I would shrink that target audience to San Juan Island, Orcas Island, whatever audience you're trying to reach. So that's what I would say in terms of trying to get to that local audience, is playing with that region feature. And then working to make your messaging very specific. Oftentimes, I think we try to get really creative with our flowery language or try to come up with something a little more abstract, but sometimes you just need the arrow emoji and hey Islanders, or do you live on San Juan Island? Click here, and you can literally just have an arrow to a link. Sometimes just being very clear as to what you want people to do will be a breath of fresh air, and people can follow that. So if you're trying to target locals, you could just say, you know, hey Islanders, this is for you, something like that.
Fantastic.
Looks like Shanda has a question about Instagram. We can't get into our account. Can I call you later about that? Yes, absolutely. Sometimes we lose our passwords or emails get crossed. So it just takes a little bit of problem solving. And feel free to call my cell phone. That's the number on the screen right there.
So I have a question too about Facebook post, because around here, Facebook, for local businesses, Facebook is, there's no other equal method of getting the word out about things, because we're basically the Facebook demographic at this point, like, you know, 50 to 70 is Facebook right now. So for Facebook posts, what would your top, say, 5 rules of thumb be for those?
Yeah, I think it depends on what you're trying to get the word out about. I think we as a community can utilize Facebook events a lot more.
Yeah.
Facebook events are a really great way if you've got a virtual happy hour going on right now, or some sort of event. I know now we aren't gathering as much anymore, but it's a great way to talk about something that you're doing that will filter it differently. On the left-hand side of your Facebook profiles, you'll see there's an event section. And a lot of times when people are looking for things to do, they'll just go to that event section and see what events are near me is a great filter. So if someone's in the Bellingham area or the San Juan County or wherever, you can filter where you're looking for events. And so if we as a community work to put more of our events in the Facebook events section, that I think will help. So I would say utilize events a lot more. It sounds silly, but use emojis. Those little silly pictures actually do a lot for engagement. They're colorful, they're a little more eye-catching, and they seem silly, and maybe they seem unprofessional to some people, but it's kind of crazy the research done behind emojis and how much they actually do boost your engagement and your posts. So I would, if you can throw a heart in there or a smiley face, use emojis. Keep it relatively short. Sometimes we have a lot of really great things to say, and so we write these multiple paragraphs, but those aren't always engaged with in the way that we hope. So I would try to keep it short and condensed, and if you do have a lot to say, put that on a page and link out to that page. Use photos and videos. A post without any sort of visual content will not perform nearly as well as one with a picture or a video. Though that's really important, and you can have a collage of videos or a carousel that flips by. There's a new feature in Facebook called the Creator Studio, and they will help you create new videos, funky photos based on what you already have in your little photo library. And so the more you use their own tools that they've built into Facebook, the more engagement you'll get, because they want to show what a cool new feature they've done. So use what's already in Facebook to make interesting content.
Those are all great.
I think that's 5.
That was 5. That was really great. Thanks, Erin. Okay, so I'm going to ask a question that certainly applies to the EDC and might apply to a few of the other businesses. Like, what would you recommend for any kind of social media post for a more serious topic. So like an EDC post, I wouldn't feel comfortable putting a heart or a smiley face in it. How do I make those engaging? And we do use photos, we do use videos. I would think it might be the same for Vicky's business. She's got a flagging business where, you know, she can contract out flaggers for construction sites and stuff. So she would need kind of more of a measured editorial kind of tone. So how can we make those more engaging without going emoji-ish?
Yeah, definitely for some of the more heavier content, we don't want to cutesy it up with emojis and things. Engagement, I would say stick with photos and videos. If you are able to put together a collage, maybe a video of photos that create a little video with some text, we're finding more and more, the social media community is finding more and more that people are watching videos but not with sound anymore. So having some sort of caption on a video or a picture is important because people are just watching them silently. And so if you've got some movement in your post, that might be helpful to get some engagement there. Links are always really great to give people more information. So I would maybe play around with a silent video that maybe gets some of your message across, or making sure that your link has a really engaging photo.
Okay, cool.
For us, we find that no matter how many different types of photos I post, sunset photos do very, very well. So maybe your topic is a little more somber, but you can have this message of hope or, you know, island beauty. And if you've got that killer San Juan Island sunset photo, I guarantee it's going to do well.
Right. Right now, we're not doing too badly because everybody wants to see like all the programs that are available for businesses. But on an ordinary day, we've got like 100th of the engagement that we do now. So it'd be nice to make them a little zestier for future, like in the future when people aren't desperate to see EDC posts.
Right. And that I think speaks to targeting your audience a little bit. That could be helpful. And making sure that you're targeting the right people, even without putting money behind it. You can make sure you're reaching people that might be most interested in this specific topic.
Right. And I just realized I've got everybody muted. Erin, are you okay if I unmute everybody and make it into a question and answer free for all?
Oh, absolutely.
For that? Okay, here comes. Okay, everybody, got any questions out there?
I do. Hey, Erin, I'm right now building my website, and my business, it's called Smugglers Cove Flagging, and it's kind of got a pirate theme going, so it can be really fun, and we like to have fun with flagging, and it's also very serious too. But I kind of want to market t-shirts because the logo is really super cool, so I can add some kind of fun thing into the website. But how do I then get that attention by using maybe like some t-shirts and things to draw attention to the business? Like how do I embrace Facebook and Instagram into a website to kind of make it all cohesive?
Yeah, how fun. I love that idea. I would say start with Instagram stories. That's a really fun way to get people engaged with your brand and have maybe some giveaways. If you're relatively new and trying to start ramping up your presence, I would maybe do some fun little contests, a giveaway, something about people who follow. Oh gosh, sorry, my screen is overwhelming right now. I would get on Instagram stories because they have the ability to link up to your website. So you'll see a lot of people do like a swipe up to shop. And so you can link your products, whatever you're trying to sell, whether it's a t-shirt or a bumper sticker or something, you can link that in your Instagram stories and have people shop right in Instagram. That would be really fun. Make sure that links to your new website or whatever you're promoting are in your Instagram bio, easily accessed on your Facebook page, and promoted. I would make sure that you keep promoting it. Don't assume that because you've posted it once, people have already seen it and just didn't like it. Keep pushing that content out there in as creative ways as possible. Maybe you do like a flat Stanley kind of thing, and have, if it's t-shirts you're trying to sell, then have the t-shirt in different places around the islands and have an engaging, where are we now sort of game. And I would say that Instagram stories is a fun way to get that started because it is so personal and quick.
Because I think we have a couple different sides that we can kind of look at. And then I've been kind of wondering how, when I'm building my website and I picked a domain name, but I want to also pick other ones so that when people are looking for a traffic control in San Juan Island, that it pops up more. I don't really understand how, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, maybe even like with hashtags, you have a bigger audience. I'm really, I don't know much about marketing yet, obviously. Maybe I should just talk to you personally, because I'm not really, I want to bring attention and not hide underneath when people are looking for flagging companies on the island here. I want my company to pop up first.
Right. What I would suggest is maybe tuning in again next week. And I think this is right, Victoria, correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to be talking about Google My Business, which I think is something that you're trying to articulate right now, which is when people are searching for flagging businesses in San Juan Island, they're going to be going to Google. That's where we're going to start. We're just programmed to head to Google first. And so making sure that your Google listing is in tip-top shape is key to that you will show up first, that you have all the up-to-date information, that you've got relevant photos, reviews, you're actively engaging on Google. That will push you higher in all the search engines. It's called SEO, search engine optimization. And that means using the right buzzwords, to make sure that you're placed higher.
Is that going to be Tuesday or Thursday next week? Do you know?
That's on Thursday.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
Does anybody have any questions other than the ones that we've had?
I have one question. So do videos do better than still photographs?
Yes, absolutely. You can track videos differently than you can track photos. Videos, you can see how many people viewed. You can see how long they stuck around for. A view, I think, is considered at least 3 seconds, I think, is considered a view. But you can see how many people viewed it, how long they stuck around. Did they click into the video or did they just watch it silently in their feed? And then you can also see, of course, who liked it, who commented on it, who actually engaged with it. So video, you just get more information, whereas photos, you don't really get to know as well if someone saw it and just kept scrolling. Did they click into the photo? You don't get as much information about photos as you do videos. So videos are paramount. There was some research done a little bit ago.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's good to hear it from somebody else that's the right intuition. So another question, you mentioned how people aren't watching with the volume, which I know I do that all the time. So is there a way of an editing platform where you can add that text to a video?
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways to do that. You can do that inside of Facebook itself. When you're going to post your video, there's an option to add subtitles, and Facebook will generate subtitles for you. Double check them, make sure that they're correct, because it is a computer generated thing. So make sure that it's saying that you're saying what you actually were saying. That was confusing. But you can do it on Facebook. You can also just import them manually. You can type out what you want and make sure it's lined up, to sync with your lips. And then there are third-party systems. If you type it out on your own, I think you upload it as a CSS file to Facebook or YouTube. So yeah, there are a couple different ways, but I personally just use the one inside of Facebook because it's usually pretty close and it's easy to edit and then post right away.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Any more questions? We're getting kind of close to 12:45, so I want to make sure everybody's got a chance to ask any questions of Erin? Erin, this has been really, really helpful for all of us. That's a great deal of information in like half hour. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yes,
of course.
thank you.
Happy to help.
Yeah, it's really good. I feel inspired to get busy on my website now.
Yeah,
Good.
absolutely.
Yeah, it should be fun. And I think one of the things that can hold us back is feeling like we're not good at it or we don't know what we're doing. But I think of it as I could never run a business about flagging in the San Juan Islands. Like I could not do that. I'm not good at that. That's not a skill that I have. I can't run a business. I can't run an inn. Those aren't skills that I've developed. I could learn those skills, but that's not one that I have right now. And social media is the exact same thing. It's just a skill that we develop. It's a muscle that we flex and we use. And so don't let the fear of not knowing what I'm doing or not feeling like I'm good at it stop you from engaging in this, because it's just a skill that we can learn and grow and develop.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you, Erin,
Thank you.
for coming today. And as I may not have mentioned, but you know, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 12 to 12:45, we will do these chat and choose, and we will have different topics. Erin's going to do Google next Thursday, so that will be really helpful to get people started. And Chris Reed, who's also on the call, has been helping us out. So last Tuesday, he did one on the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, and he will be, and other people will be doing episodes on unemployment insurance, more on the PPP, more on other grants and programs that are available. Kind of nuts and bolts stuff about keeping your business going, like looking at cash flow. So all those really helpful core knowledge things that all businesses should be delving into right now. We'll be exploring all those. On Wednesdays at 10 a.m., we also have a business recovery call where we've got speakers from around the state coming to talk about what they're seeing. And the login for that information and for all of our events is all on our website. If you go to the sanjuansedc.org website, there's a link on the front page for COVID-19 resources, or sanjuansedc.org/news is where all of the classes and workshops and things are placed. So again, Erin, thank you so much for coming today. It was really, really helpful. And
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Looking forward
absolutely. Yeah, good. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. If there's no other questions, I'm going to go ahead and end the call and hang in there. I know this is really a really hard time. I don't think hard even really describes it. It's an awful time to be running a business right now. It's hard. So if there's anything that the EDC can do for you, just call us or send us an email and we'll help you out. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye. Thanks, Erin.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.